Have you ever realized a holiday wasn't the hard part? The memory attached to it was. I'm Jen, a burnout and vicarious trauma coach, and I most certainly do not have my shit together. On a recent Wednesday, I noticed I felt lonely. Not surface level lonely, but deep, aching, unsettled lonely. It felt strange because I'm usually rather content on my own. At first, I thought maybe I just needed to reconnect with someone. So I scrolled through my contacts looking for whomever's voice I needed to hear, but no names felt right. I got distracted, moved on, but the feeling lingered. Thursday evening, I finally sat with the loneliness long enough to understand. The 4th of July was 2 days away. My mom's birthday was on the 5th, and my mind has always conflated the two celebrations. So, even 13 years after her death, this time of year can stir up grief in surprising ways. Once I realized that, the loneliness made a lot of sense. I wasn't missing a person I could call. I was missing my mom. And I was missing the tradition that had formed around her birthday, a tradition I continued after her death to buffer against the grief. I used to love hosting a big 4th of July cookout to celebrate both the holiday and mom's birthday. As a raging introvert, she obviously loved having 40 plus people sing happy birthday to her. For me, she begrudgingly tolerated it. But no matter what else we cooked that day, the night before, Mom and I always made a huge bowl of our family's potato salad. An old British recipe, nothing like what you'd find at anyone else's cookout. That was the ritual. Then on the 5th, we'd do something quiet, just the two of us. After she died, I kept finding ways to recreate some version of that tradition. When I worked at the trauma center, I'd throw a 4th of July cookout for clients. When I moved to my tiny town, a neighbor asked me to help organize a block party for the 4th, and we did that every year. And every year, the part that mattered most to me was making that potato salad the night before. It was my way of keeping mom alive. It also gave me something to do instead of sitting too directly with my grief. But this year, there is no block party. Too much going on for too many people, which left me facing the 4th alone for the first time in my life. I considered going to other celebrations, but honestly didn't want to navigate the holiday traffic. And that's when it hit me. Maybe this wasn't just grief sneaking up on me. Maybe it was grief telling me it was time for a new tradition. I thought about how often I've talked with clients about reclaiming holidays that grief or trauma had tarnished. Not recreating what was, not pretending it doesn't hurt, but making something new that actually fits who they are now. My mom and I actually did that ourselves after my grandmother died. Big family gatherings with a huge turkey and all the fixings were suddenly a thing of the past. So we began making crab cakes with my pop up for Christmas dinner, just the three of us. Simple, non traditional, perfect. So I decided to take my own advice and let this year be different. On the 4th, I spent the day working on a fun project I'd been wanting to make time for. The day flew. By 8:30 p.m., I was pleasantly tired, made a simple dinner, made a fancy seltzer water with mint and lime, and watched fireworks on TV. A truly pleasant day. The next day, Mom's birthday, I lit a special candle for her like I always do and wished her a happy birthday. After breakfast, I made the thing that mattered most. I threw 3 potatoes in the Instant Pot and made our family's potato salad. Later, I spent some time with my dad, worked on my project, and then I made a birthday dinner for the two of us. Well, for me and her memory. Philly cheesesteaks, potato salad, and watermelon. About as untraditional as crab cakes on Christmas. Definitely not what I would have made were she still alive. Yet, somehow exactly perfect. We ate dinner together, watched her favorite movie, in the way you do when someone's gone, but not really. Before bed, I said a few more words to her and blew out her candle. That's always the hardest moment. Yet the deep, aching loneliness was gone. Not all the grief, not all the longing, but that deep ache had softened. I don't know if I will repeat this exact ritual next year, but I reminded myself I don't need 40 people and a grill to honor my mom's memory. Sometimes the most meaningful new traditions are the ones you build quietly just for yourself. So here's my question for you. Where in your life might grief be asking for a new ritual instead of your old traditions? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to know. And if you want more stories like this, unexpected grief, the world's best potato salad, and reminders that your ways of honoring someone can change, give this a like, maybe share it with someone navigating their own hard season, and stick around. There's plenty more coming.